Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Heading to the Week 5 slate, a very interesting SEC matchup as Texas A&M and Arkansas go to battle at AT&T Stadium. I feel like these games always are absolutely electric. I can't wait for this one. A couple kind of key matchups I want to get into, but my overall take on both these programs, and I know Arkansas just comes off a loss on the road at LSU, 2-game losing streak. If you're an Arkansas fan, there's a lot of positives to take away from that LSU team or LSU game. And then you look at Texas A&M. I mean, that was about as dominant of a performance for Texas A&M over Auburn as you could have expected. I don't think the scoreboard truly reflects how good Texas A&M played on both sides of the football. And I get there were some mistakes, right? Giving up a scoop and score for a touchdown kind of skews the scoreboard a little bit. But we said this going into the season. If this Texas A&M team clicks on both sides of the football, it's one of the most dangerous teams in the SEC, and that was about as close as I've seen from Texas A&M clicking on both sides. Excited to see if they can kind of continue that momentum. Before we get into it again, just want to say thank you to you guys. The support you guys have shown for these game breakdowns truly has been over 9,000 subscribers. The community that's being built, I can't thank you guys enough. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. But more importantly, as always, I learned so much from you guys in the comment section. Let me know how you guys think this game plays out, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree. That's kind of the beauty of college football. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. And let's get into this one. And I want to start with this Arkansas offense going up against this Texas A&M defense that is coming together and is coming together fast. And the biggest statistic, the matchup that I want to talk about, Arkansas's pass protection versus the Texas A&M defense, especially that defensive line that can get after the quarterback. You saw them get after it against Auburn. This is an Arkansas team that's allowing sacks on 10.5% of dropbacks. That is bottom 10 in the country. And that's not really what we're used to be seeing from an Arkansas offensive line. They're dealing with some injuries. I know Sam Pittman was saying some Arkansas linemen dealing with some hand injuries where it's making it difficult to block. Take a look at what Texas A&M is doing on the defensive side of the ball. They're sacking the quarterback 11.7% of dropbacks. That is third in the country. You look at the biggest mismatch on paper here. It's this Texas A&M pass rush going up against an Arkansas offensive line that in pass protection really has been struggling. Now, I will say the key to this game is not only impacting KJ Jefferson, creating negative plays, but also keeping him in the pocket. Because you go back to that LSU game for KJ Jefferson, legitimate superhero performance. I mean, extending plays. KJ Jefferson, yes, can run the football and move the chains, but where he is most dangerous is being really hard to bring down in that pocket, extending plays, keeping his eyes downfield, letting his wide receivers get open in the back end. That's where they were hurting LSU. And again, you look at Texas A&M losing to Miami. Where was their biggest struggle? It was in the back end, letting guys go free, not tackling in space. That's probably the biggest mismatch that you're looking for Arkansas to maybe get after Texas A&M is KJ Jefferson extending plays and kind of being a little bit of a superhuman in the pocket and pushing that football down to the wide receivers. Now, for Texas A&M, that secondary looked awesome against Auburn. I'm not saying it's saying much because that Auburn passing attack is not right. That being said, 56 passing yards to an SEC team, 200 total yards of offense from Auburn last week. I mean, this Texas A&M defense was smothered, and I'm looking for those linebackers. I mean, York, true freshman, absolute dog. Cooper Russell, spying KJ Jefferson when he tries to leave the pocket. They got to go make a play. That's probably what you're looking for this Texas A&M team is creating those negative plays with that pass rush, but also keeping KJ Jefferson in the pocket because when he can extend plays, that's when this Arkansas team is most dangerous. The run game, it got better, right? Arkansas fans, we've been talking about this Arkansas team not being able to run the football to the standard that you've seen in the past. I think they looked better against LSU. Maybe get some guys back healthy. Maybe that run game takes another step. That's what you're looking for too. Now, on the flip side, we talk about Texas A&M putting it together. I think they're slowly starting to put it together on the offensive side of the ball. And I get Connor Wigman goes down, but Jimbo Fisher said, we got two starting quarterbacks. Max Johnson comes in, looked really, really good. My favorite part about this Texas A&M offense is they're opening up the field a little bit when you have a stud in Evan Stewart. I think he's the second best wide receiver in the country behind Marvin Harrison Jr. When you have someone of his caliber on the outside that commands so much attention and respect from outside corners and safeties, what does that happen? It opens up the middle of the field. And who are they going to? They're going to the senior Ainias Smith. I'm going to get that name right because I love Ainias Smith. Ainias Smith in space. And if you guys have been listening to me for about a year now, and I've been banging the table for this guy ever since the injury, he is such a dynamic playmaker in space. And again, when you have a quarter or wide receiver in Evan Stewart, I would throw in Noah Thomas there too, that commands the attention of safeties and outside cornerbacks. You start opening that up. And what are they doing? They're just getting the ball to Smith, and he's making plays after the catch. Again, one of the best players in the country with the football in his hands. I love it. And then you look at the offensive line. I think they took a step in the run game. You have 3 running backs that I know the offensive line, we're waiting for them to kind of really put it together. But this running back room, Le'Veon Moss, Mari Daniels, true freshman Ruben Owens. I mean, it is an elite group that just makes plays if you give them the holes to make it. And so can they find that balance of, hey, we're leaning on our quarterback, leaning on our top wide receivers, but also utilizing that run game? If that balance takes place, I'm telling you, this Texas A&M offense is really, really dangerous. I think this is the best quarterback play that we've seen in a really long time from Texas A&M, going up against an Arkansas defense that, if you guys have been listening to me, like, I think it's a good defense that took a lot of steps in the right direction. They used the transfer portal beautifully, only giving up 3 yards per carry, 62% completion percentage to opposing quarterbacks. This defense for Arkansas, I think, is really solid. You have guys like Landon Jackson, Kevin Rose, who can affect the quarterback, a really good staple of linebackers. I think they used the portal well to kind of solidify that back end too. This Arkansas defense is good. I'm looking for Texas A&M to kind of continue that momentum against an Arkansas defense that, again, I think is being slept on. It was not good last year. I think it's taken some massive steps heading into this 2023 season. Getting to the pick, Texas A&M coming in as 6.5-point favors against Arkansas. I'm leaning Texas A&M here. I think this is a team that we're starting to see put it together. And again, going back to what we talked about in the summer, if this team does put it together with all the talent that they have, they are one of the most dangerous teams in the SEC. They have the firepower to bang and compete with everybody in this conference. Arkansas, like, I like what you saw. I really do think that was a good performance. I'm high on this Arkansas team to finish out the season, but I'm just a little bit higher on Texas A&M. Give me Texas A&M to cover those 6.5 points. This Arkansas team's good. This Texas A&M team, I think you saw both of these teams play their best football in week 4. And if they can both kind of make some steps, keep putting it together in week 5, like, you're looking at 2 top teams in the SEC. Excited for this one. Give me the Aggies, though. Again, Max Johnson or Connor Wigman, whoever it is, I feel confident in the quarterback play, the playmakers on the outside. This one's going to be a good one. Anytime you go to AT&T Stadium, it's going to be a fun one. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys as usual. And if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.